Have you ever wondered why some people who try so hard to win end up failing? They compete for every tiny advantage at work. They try to outdo their competitors in business. They believe that for them to gain $1, someone else must lose $1. But mathematics, game theory, and decades of research into human behavior have proven the opposite. The selfish and cunning may win in the short term, but they always lose in the long run. However, the story is not as simple as be kind and you will win. The real world is far more complex than pure mathematical models. This article will take you on a journey to discover sustainable success strategies, adjusted to fit the complexities, ambiguities, and challenges of real life. Chapter 1. Lessons from the Prisoner's Dilemma. In 1950, two mathematicians, Merrill Flood and Melvin Drescher at the Rand Corporation, created a hypothetical situation later popularized by Albert W. Tucker as the prisoner's dilemma. This situation became the foundation for how we understand cooperation and conflict. Two prisoners are arrested. The police give them two choices: cooperate with each other by staying silent, or betray each other to save themselves. If both stay silent, each serves 1 year in prison. If one betrays while the other stays silent, the traitor goes free immediately, and the silent one serves 10 years. If both betray each other, each serves 5 years. Instinctively, you would want to betray to protect yourself. But the result is that both betray and end up serving 5 years each. If they trusted each other, they would serve only 2 years combined. This is the trap of purely selfish calculation. Your life often presents similar choices: cooperate for mutual growth, or betray for temporary advantage. But the biggest difference is that in the real world, you don't know the exact prison sentence for each choice, and you don't play just one single round. Chapter 2. The Historic Computer Tournament and the Victory of Simplicity. In 1980, political science professor Robert Axelrod at the University of Michigan organized a unique computer tournament. He invited experts from various fields to submit programs that would compete against each other in an iterated prisoner's dilemma game lasting 200 rounds. Many submitted extremely complex programs with hundreds of lines of code designed to analyze, deceive, and exploit opponents' weaknesses. The result was shocking. The simplest program won. It had only 2 lines of code and was called Tit for Tat, submitted by psychologist Anatole Rappaport. Tit for Tat's rules were crystal clear. First round, cooperate. From the second round onward, do exactly what your opponent did to you in the previous round. Tit for Tat defeated all other complex strategies. But importantly, in this tournament, every interaction was transparent and instantaneous. There were no misunderstandings, no errors, no information noise. This is a crucial difference from the real world. Chapter 3. Adjusting for the real world when misunderstandings happen. In real life, the original Tit for Tat has a fatal weakness: it cannot handle noise. Imagine this. You cooperate with a colleague. One day, due to a misunderstanding, she unintentionally does something that makes you think she betrayed you. Following Tit for Tat, you betray her in response. She is surprised and betrays you back. Now you're both trapped in an endless cycle of retaliation, even though neither of you had any bad intention initially. Later research by Axelrod and other scientists showed that in environments with noise, where misunderstandings and errors can occur, a strategy called generous Tit for Tat performs better. This strategy occasionally forgives a single betrayal to heal the relationship, instead of retaliating immediately. The lesson: rigidity can destroy good relationships. Sometimes, you need to give your partner some space to correct mistakes, especially when you suspect it might have been a misunderstanding. Chapter 4. 4 Core Characteristics. The Advanced Version. To live a valuable life and achieve sustainable success in a complex world, you need to develop these 4 characteristics, refined from the Tit for Tat lessons. 1. Proactive kindness. Never be the first to attack. In Axelrod's tournament, the 8 kindest strategies all ranked at the top. Strategies that tried to attack first for points all failed miserably after many rounds. You should begin every agreement with goodwill. This opens up cooperation opportunities that mean-spirited people never have. Proactive kindness sends a powerful signal to the world that you are a potentially reliable partner. However, proactive kindness does not mean naivety. Be selectively kind and always observe others' responses to adjust accordingly. 2. Intelligent firmness. Kindness does not mean letting others trample over you. If someone deliberately betrays you, you must respond. But intelligent response doesn't necessarily mean an eye for an eye. In the real world, betrayal comes in different degrees. Minor misunderstandings can be ignored or gently addressed. Unfair competition requires clear reaction, perhaps warning or adjusting cooperation levels. Serious betrayal, complete relationship termination, possibly even legal action. When you respond to injustice proportionally, you send a message that you're not an easy target. This prevents predators from exploiting you. But your response must be appropriate, not excessive. 3. Conditional forgiveness. Don't hold grudges, but don't forgive naively either. This is the most subtle point. If an opponent stops playing dirty and wants to cooperate again, consider, have they truly changed? Or are they just pretending? How severe was the past damage? Some wounds cannot heal. What are future benefits? Would renewed cooperation bring value? Holding old grudges wastes energy and misses opportunities. But resuming cooperation with someone who seriously betrayed you could be suicidal. Let the past be a lesson, not a prison, but don't let it become a trap either. The original tit for tat would immediately cooperate when the opponent did. In the real world, you might need a probation period before fully restoring trust. 4. Flexible consistency. Let your rules be generally stable but adaptable to circumstances. Don't change your behavior based on mood, but don't be so rigid that you can't handle special situations. If you're kind today but deceitful tomorrow without reason, nobody will trust you. But if you're always rigidly retaliate against every betrayal, without distinguishing accidents from intentions, you'll lose many good relationships due to misunderstandings. Consistency builds reputation. Reputation is your greatest asset in a volatile world. But a reputation for wisdom, knowing how to distinguish situations, is even more valuable than a reputation for rigidity. Chapter 5. Redefining victory. Most of us misunderstand winning. You often think of victory like a chess game where your opponent must lose pieces for you to win. But life is not chess. It's a game where total value can change. Tit for tat never scores higher than its opponent in any individual match. It either ties or loses slightly. So why did it become champion? Because it attracts other kind players and together they create enormous value. You don't need to step on others to succeed. You win by becoming an excellent partner. When you help others earn $3 and you also earn $3, that's a greater victory than stealing $1 from them and keeping only that $1. True success comes from creating shared value. And when you create shared value, you become not only materially wealthier, but also richer in relationships and reputation. Chapter 6. The truth about bad people. Do they really leave? The original article suggested that bad people will find you difficult and leave. Reality is far more complex. There are different types of bad people. Stupid bad people. They play dirty openly and are easily identified. When facing firm people, they usually leave. Sophisticated bad people. They are masters of disguise and manipulation. They don't leave easily. Instead, they stay, pretend to cooperate, and find ways to sabotage and jong. They might praise you to your face, but speak ill behind your back, or try to create misunderstandings between you and your allies. Therefore, firmness alone is not enough. You also need awareness, the ability to recognize hidden games, information networks, trustworthy people to verify information, multi-layered defense strategies, not just immediate reactions, but building long-term protection systems. In the real world, filtering out bad people is a continuous process, not a one-time event. Chapter 7. Stoicism and adjustment. The original article combined tit for tat with Stoicism. In reality, there's an interesting tension between these two philosophies. Pure Stoicism teaches, focus only on what you control, your thoughts, judgments, and actions. Others' actions are beyond your control and shouldn't disturb you. A perfect Stoic might choose cooperation because it is the right thing to do, regardless of what others do. They wouldn't let others' bad behavior affect their virtue. Meanwhile, tit for tat reacts strongly based on others' actions. It allows opponents' behavior to determine its own behavior. So what's the compromise? It's pragmatic Stoicism. You maintain your core values, kindness, integrity, but you acknowledge you live in an interactive world. Your reactions to others' behavior are not weakness, They're how you protect your ethical space. You don't let hatred control you, but you take appropriate action to prevent exploitation. You maintain inner peace because you know you're acting rightly, protecting yourself without becoming evil yourself. Chapter 8. You create your own environment. A profound truth from game theory is, you are the one who determines your living environment. If you constantly seek to deceive, you'll soon find yourself surrounded only by other deceivers. Why? Because kind people will detect and avoid you. Other deceivers stay because they see you as one of them. Eventually, you're trapped in a spiral of betrayal and suspicion. Conversely, if you are kind, firm, conditionally forgiving, and flexibly consistent, you'll attract people with similar values. Your environment gradually gets purified by your own behavior. This doesn't happen overnight, but over time, your reputation acts as a natural selection mechanism. Suitable people stay, unsuitable people gradually leave, or you consciously remove them. Chapter 9. Practical application. How do you apply these lessons to daily life? At work, start every new project with a cooperative spirit, sharing information. If colleagues don't cooperate, investigate why. It might be work pressure, not malice. If they deliberately play dirty, respond clearly, report to superiors, document evidence, adjust cooperation levels. When they change, give them opportunities, but remain cautiously observant. In business, create clear contracts, but don't rely solely on contracts. Good relationships matter more. When partners make mistakes, distinguish between technical errors and deliberate violations. Build multiple protection layers. Don't put all eggs in one basket. Develop a reputation for fairness and firmness. This attracts good partners. In personal relationships, give first without calculating. When hurt, speak up instead of silently enduring or overreacting. Learn to forgive, but forgiving doesn't mean forgetting the lesson. Establish clear and consistent boundaries. Conclusion: the long journey. In the short term, the cunning may win. They might deceive their way to a big contract or get promoted by taking credit from colleagues. But life is a series of thousands of rounds, spanning decades. By round 10 or 20, their true face will be exposed. Their paths will gradually close. Those who follow the path of kindness and intelligent firmness may start slowly, but they endure and grow stronger over time because they have many allies and solid reputations. You cannot control whether this world is fair. You cannot force others to be kind to you. The only thing you control is your own strategy. And when you choose kindness combined with intelligent firmness, conditional forgiveness, and flexible consistency, you choose the path of long-term victory. This is not just mathematics. It's not just game theory. It's the essence of a person with character, living with value, and building sustainable success in a complex world. Look at your current relationships. How are you treating your friends, colleagues, and partners? Are you trying to defeat them in every conversation or every small transaction? Or are you building relationships based on mutual respect and long-term cooperation? Your answers to these questions will determine not only your success, but also your quality of life and happiness on the long journey ahead.